Hey, I want to talk about giving up weed and the byproducts of that. How I gave up weed, and the same week I released an old friend that was no longer serving me for 15 years, kind of an on again, off again friend, kind of a toxic friend. And it's just interesting, the concept of releasing something that no longer serves us, weed, and then that same week releasing a friend that no longer served me, friendship that was no longer in alignment, that same week. And it's almost like when we release something that no longer serves us, we literally step into a new timeline, a higher timeline, a more aligned self, a new self. And that friendship can no longer go with the new self. It's no longer aligned with the new self. That friendship belonged to that old person. And a similar thing happened last semester, last fall. I'm in spring now, it's May. So last September, late September, my ex-partner and I, of about a year, broke up, and I had just given up weed that time, early August. So about 6 to 8 weeks later, that partner and I finally broke up after a year being together. And I say finally because we were together about a year, and those last 6 months of that year, we had several conversations about breaking up, many initiated by me. And it was like it took that new person, me giving up weed, for that relationship to finally, dissolve, fade away. It was no longer in alignment with the new person. So I think this is a really important point, because obviously it's a good thing to release what no longer serves us, something that's toxic or not in alignment anymore, weed in my case. But there's other positive byproducts of that. It's like not the only good thing about it. As we release what no longer serves us, relationships or friendships that no longer serve us also fall away, because the new person can't hold it. Like they can't, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just not in alignment. It's almost like I'm sure it is, not almost like it is. I don't know what it's called, but it's definitely a law of the universe, that when we let go of what no longer serves us, we make space for what does. And this is not the exact concept I'm speaking to, but it's an adjacent concept where, now I'm excited, because now that I've released that old partner, whatever that was that 7 months ago? September to March is 6 months plus 2, so 8 months ago. Now that I released that old partner that no longer served me 8 months ago, I'm excited about my new partner that's going to come into my life, new connections. Now that I released this old friend, cannabis, and that old friend of 15 years that no longer served me, I'm excited about the energy and the space that created for new energy, new life, new friends, new relationships, new time, new energy, new alignment to come in. So yeah, I think I just wanted to make that point today, that it's such a beautiful thing to let go of what no longer serves us, but how it's a gift that keeps on giving. How it also releases other things that no longer serves us, and creates space for things that do serve us. Life is beautiful when we can let go. The Buddha said, in the end, only 3 things truly matter: how much we loved, how gently we lived, and how gracefully we let go of things no longer meant for us. And that last piece is really, really important, and the piece that I'm speaking to right now, which is how graceful can we let go. As humans, we like to cling, we like to hang on to old friendships, old relationships, old habits, addictions, behavioral addictions, or substances, whatever it is, things that are no longer in alignment, things that don't serve us. And we are life, right? Life is constantly changing. The seasons are constantly changing. We're constantly changing. It's so natural to change. Why do we hang on to things that don't serve us anymore? It's so natural that as we change, we're going to have to let go. And it doesn't have to be drama. I really wanted my ex and I to consciously uncouple. Again, we talked about uncoupling for probably the last 5-6 months of our 11-month relationship. And we, even went to, therapy. We're really trying to make it work. We were forcing this relationship to work. And so we were speaking about consciously uncoupling, which I think is a concept I brought in, that I'd heard, and I really wanted that. But yet, when we actually broke up, I don't want to get too much into the details, but I wanted to consciously uncouple, and I feel like my ex really struggled with that and kind of flipped her shit, and anyway, it was dramatic, and kind of it ended up being sort of a toxic breakup, which it didn't need to be. Hopefully she's well and we're all good now, but that toxicity comes in, that pain from clinging, from holding, from blaming, instead of letting go. Consciously uncoupling comes from blessing, releasing, respecting. Why in our world, in our society, do people think breakups have to be dramatic, have to be painful, have to be toxic? They don't. Breakups can be as beautiful and as easy and as natural and as loving as relationships. They can. It's possible. It's called consciously uncoupling. It's when we let go gracefully. Same thing with letting go of old friends. We can consciously uncouple from old friends. Hey, just not aligned anymore. Doesn't have to be personal. Doesn't have to be dramatic. Man, this is a concept that I really wish people could learn. We can bless each other. It's a blessing to be in our lives and each other's lives for as long as we are. Whether it's a week, a month, a year, 10 years. That's why I believe in divorce. I'm a very spiritual person. I absolutely believe in God. And yet divorce is sacred and holy, and breakups are, because it's natural. It's life, it's change. And really what's unholy and unnatural and painful is the clinging, the holding on, the fighting, the going against the Tao, the flow, the way of life. Nature. The Tao Te Ching says, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Nature does not cling. Be like water, it flows. It does not cling. A lot of our pain comes from clinging, from holding on when we should let go, from fear, from identity. Who would I be without that person? Who would I be? Who am I without that substance? Your life. You're free. Let go. Be free. God can dream a greater dream than we could ever dream for ourselves. But it takes, God is synonymous with life. They're one, the Tao, all synonyms. You have to let go to let God. When we cling, that's pain, that's ego. That's us thinking, that's control. That's us thinking that we know better than God, than life, than what is, than reality. All synonyms. Jah, Rastafari, I and I, one. Nature is gorgeous. Nature is a sanctuary. We are nature. Blessed to be alive, to be in nature, to live in Boulder, Colorado, or a 15-minute drive and you're deep in the mountains. Blessings, friends. I hope this message was for somebody today. Hope you got something out of this. My name is Sky. I hope to connect with like minds, like hearts, like souls on the path of life, on the spiritual path, on the path of enlightenment, awakening, which is what we're here to do. It's what all humans are here to do, whether they know it or not, is to awaken to God consciousness, God realization, self-realization. That is ultimately the purpose of all human beings, whether they know it or not, whether they achieve it in this lifetime or not. That's what we're here to do. It's the most important thing we can do. And all of our pain and all of our lessons are for that. We are God embodied. We have God, we are 8 billion pieces of God. We are like the sun. We are sun rays from the sun. Child of God, pretty close. God, closer. It's not an ego thing. It's the opposite of that. It's total humility. The power of that realization. And it's not a belief. It's beyond religion. Religion asks you to believe in something that you don't know for sure. Realization, enlightenment, awakening, these are all synonyms. It doesn't ask you to believe anything. You don't have to hold a belief in your mind. It's an experience. No one has to tell you or to believe once you've had the experience, and you can have the experience every moment. We like to overcomplicate enlightenment. We use these words. People are like, oh, wow, enlightenment. It's only for a few. No. Enlightenment is just knowing who you are. Gnosis, knowing, embodied knowing. Knowing beyond concept, knowing beyond the mind. I'm going to share more of my story of smoking cannabis for nearly 20 years and giving it up for good 2 weeks ago. Other people sharing their stories on YouTube really inspired me and really helped me to let it go for good. So I hope to be that person for others. Wow, get out into nature, guys. Get out into nature. Nature is a good substitute for cannabis. Nature is medicine. The smells, the sounds of the birds. It's forest bathing. In Japan, they call it forest bathing. And in other countries, doctors actually prescribe it. It's so good for our mental health. Depression, anxiety, stress, and it's free. Walking is so good for us too. EDMR. And that we naturally do EDMR. Which is what desensitization, EDMR, movement, something like that. It's a type of therapy for PTSD, and we naturally do it when we walk. And walking in nature is even better. Walking is great for us, nature is great for us, and then you combine them. Also, looking out into the distance is really good for us, for our eyes, because we look at our screens so much, things that are close up. Anyways, I'm Sky, 35, I live in Boulder, Colorado. I'm a grad student, second year. Just finished my second year, going into my third and final. I'm training to be a therapist. I'm actually studying nature-based therapy. I'm genderqueer, transgender. I use he and they pronouns. And yeah, I just want to help people, man. I really do. I feel called to help people. I want to help the people that I used to be. I want to help people struggling with what I used to struggle with. And just share the things that I've learned on my journey. And connect with people, again, who are like minds, like hearts, like souls. To the mountains. Absolutely stunning. This is God. Nature is God. Nature is God. God created nature. Such beautiful artwork. It's really good for our brains too, neuroscience. Neuroaesthetics. I love science. I love spirituality and I love science. I'm a both and person. Things are not in conflict. We like to think that things are in conflict, but they're really not. Life is both and, yin and yang. And I'm somebody that embodies that. A mixed race, you know, white and black and Native American, you know, gender queer, sort of male and female, you know, raised Christian, go to a, you know, sort of Buddhist inspired school, sort of Buddhist and Christian, you know. When you're a mix of things, white and black, male and female, Buddhist and Christian, you know, when you're a mix of things, you realize life is both and we don't have to be so either or, black and white. You tend to love it all. You become whole. You become integrated. Light and dark. All one. Wholeness. Okay. That's it for now. Peace and love.